business owners and executives from around the valley. This is Business Leaders with Lance Cardoza.
Hello everybody and welcome to Business Leaders here on KMPH Fox 26. I'm Lance Cardoza, and before we start anything, I'd like to thank Flooring Liquidators for their support here of Business Leaders each and every week here on Tuesday mornings at 11 a.m. My guest this week, Stacy Rianda. She is the Deputy Manager and Acting CEO of the Big Fresno Fair. And thank you for being on the program, Stacy.
My pleasure.
And we're right on it. Big Fresno Fair is this week.
Yes.
And we're ready to launch with a lot of excitement, and it's been long awaiting, right?
Absolutely. We are so excited to be able to bring this back to our community. They need it. We need it. It's time.
It's time. And during the pandemic, too, there was tons of uncertainty in to where all of entertainment and fairs, it took a big hit. But I think fairs have to, they look forward to that one time a year of being able to celebrate with the community. That was tough last year, wasn't it?
Absolutely. It was devastating to the fair industry as a whole, not just us. When you're in the mass gathering business and you can't have any mass gatherings, it's a big issue financially. Yeah. We had to do major layoffs of our staff. We had to make some really hard decisions and really buckle down to try and keep this place alive so that we could get to where we are right now this week.
Yeah.
Ready to open our gates once again to invite everybody back to the biggest party between Los Angeles and Sacramento. We're so excited.
It truly is the Big Fresno Fair. And I tell people all the time, I'll ask people, have you been out to the fair? And they'll say, oh yeah, I love a certain area that you guys have taken and created a sense of destination. And how I talk about that, a lot of people at home, you probably remember eating a school lunch, a paper bag lunch, and sitting on the little yard right outside of the Paul Paul Theater. You would take your tour around fair, maybe it was the day you went to the fair. And that area alone, with a lot of your corporate entitlements and people that have stepped up, the friends of the Big Fresno Fair, to make a difference in these areas are beautiful now and are all free with your admission to the Big Fresno Fair.
That's right. And yes, we get the stories all the time too about people, how they used to bring cardboard to the fair and slide down the hill at the Paul Paul Theater, or everyone remembers getting their little bag of rocks from Gem and Minerals.
Oh yes, yes.
So what's really great about our fair is that we've retained a lot of those traditions while we've made some huge improvements to make it more family friendly for everyone. Yeah. So we've got some new with some old, and it's just a special time of year. It's such a tradition for so many families, and it's always our pleasure to put this event on every year.
And I'm sure it was very tough last year with livestock and being able to do that. So they're probably really looking forward to coming back and being able to bring that to the fair.
Last year we were able to do a drive-through fair. Okay. So it was, people would drive through, they could order from their favorite food booths, stands, yes, and then just drive on out. Well, we were also able to do a show and go livestock show. Yeah. So they would bring their animals in, do their show, load them up, and leave. And the auction was all virtual. This year, it's back to normal. All the animals will be there at once, and the auction will be live as well as virtual. So yes, the kids are very excited to be able to come and hang out in the barns again and do all those things they love.
I can only imagine being in the FFA and 4-H students that you look forward to that year, that time of year. And I remember as a kid, it was King's Fair. And I had a lamb, and I was so excited to show my lamb, and I ended up getting chicken pox the week of the fair. It was like the day before, and I remember my mom would be watching this, and she'll remember I was miserable because that you planned all year. This was the big dance. This is the big day, and there's many businesses that count and thrive on the Big Fresno Fair. And for those to go away, we're so excited to see it come back.
Yes.
So this week, there's a lot in store, and throughout this show, we're going to tell you more and more about the Big Fresno Fair with Stacy. But give us a little taste of what's happening this week at the Big Fresno Fair.
Well, first of all, because we were just talking about livestock, I really want to encourage people to come out to our livestock auctions. We have two, both Saturdays at the fair. Support those kids that work so hard all year long, raising those animals, feeding them, grooming them, getting them ready for sale. Because the meat prices are going up, out of control, come to the fair and buy your own meat.
Yeah.
Fresh, have it cut, wrapped, sent to your house. Perfect.
Yep.
Just the way you want it.
Yeah.
So I really want to encourage people to come out and support those kids.
Those students, they look forward to that. This is a big...
Absolutely.
And you're taught, like with FFA, it's a business, and you're raising your animal, and you put the whole plan together, and you're judged on that, and the judgment all the way through putting together your process. So you really look forward to it, and for it not to happen, or virtually, it's sort of a bummer. So this year it's going to be pretty exciting. So yes, support those students.
Absolutely. And the kids took a hit last year because the prices weren't as high. People were unfamiliar with the whole virtual auction site deal. So this is a chance to come back, be live in person in front of your sellers, and hopefully get some more money this year for their projects.
Big entertainment, a lot of fun. Big Fresno Fair always brings it. Live horse racing. A lot of fairs do not have live horse racing. That's back with the fair this year.
Absolutely. We are unique in the Valley in that we do have live horse racing. This year we have 7 days. The horses are sparse in California, which is why we cut it back to 7 days. Post time will be at 1:45 every day. And by reducing the number of days, it's increasing the horses in our fields. So we'll have more horses running each race instead of more races and less horses.
Exactly. Shorter days, and you have more time out there at the track.
Yes, exactly. So the betting should be really good. And of course, First Friday at the Big Fresno Fair is always a huge day. It'll be packed out there. So we're excited for that as always.
Awesome.
Yes.
And what else do we have to look forward to at the Big Fresno Fair?
Well, the fair is going to look different this year. We've combined a lot of buildings because our entries were down, people coming out of the pandemic. It's been rough. So home arts and junior exhibits are now combined into one building, which is at the junior exhibits building. We've combined our gem and minerals building with the floriculture building all together in one. So taking over the old gem and minerals location is a new event called Live in Local Marketplace. And it's showcasing everything local from the Valley. So we've got all kinds of different food products. We have a gentleman doing a sourdough starter event, demonstration. Wow. Yes.
What's just called the Joe that starts the sourdough bread.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
I thought it was called the Mother.
It's a Joe, but it's pretty cool, unless I have it wrong. Stacy, don't go away. You're going to be here throughout the show. And Business Leaders, we have more to come about the Big Fresno Fair. It's this week, and we're going to tell you about all the excitement right here on KMPH Fox 26.
Business Leaders with Lance Cardoza.
Welcome back to Business Leaders. Lance Cardoza, Stacy Rianda. Big Fresno Fair. We're talking about the excitement. We're talking about some changes. We're talking about finally getting to be able to go out to a Big Fresno Fair. I think last year it was a big void for many people, but they did the drive-through. You did the virtual auction for the livestock. You tried everything to keep that love of the Big Fresno Fair still alive, but there's nothing like going out, grabbing a corn dog, and experiencing it for yourself.
Last year during our drive-through event, and we had to do anything that we could to stay alive and to make money without actually having events, which is very difficult, which is why we ended up doing the drive-through event. We had a gentleman coming through, and the traffic was crazy for it. This community showed up for our drive-through eats event.
I was there, trust me. Yeah, I took my grandkids and we loved it.
This gentleman came through, and we asked him, "Why are you here sitting through all of this traffic?" And he said, "I've been coming to this fair every year for 45 years to get my corn dog, and I was not going to miss it this year." That's what we like to hear. Yeah. That makes what we do worthwhile, is knowing that people support us and love us that much. It was amazing.
And we're counting on it. And I can say the same thing. I wanted a corn dog. I didn't want a corn dog you can get anywhere else. I wanted a corn dog from the Big Fresno Fair, and I knew when I looked at the vendors, I'm like, oh yes, they're going to have a corn dog trailer, so I was so excited. But there's certain things you come to the fair for that's tradition. That's that memory and takes you back. And a little bit about the fair, and I don't think, not everybody knows, but the museum at the fair for the Fresno County Museum, it's incredible. Tell us about that museum. If someone's never experienced that, how do they experience that? Can they experience that at the fair this year?
Absolutely. It'll be open every day. And we actually have just incorporated, how when you go to a museum, you can check out a little phone-looking thing with some headphones
Yeah.
and do a walking tour, and
Yeah.
it'll tell you all about the exhibits as you walk through. We've got that this year at our Fresno County Historical Museum. So that is going to be amazing. So you can take yourself on a tour.
Yeah. Like
and
a
it'll be
virtual
open.
docent that just stays
Yes,
with you the whole
exactly.
time.
It'll be
Wow.
open every single day of the fair. And if people want to come and see it when it's not fair time, all they have to do is call the fair office and make an appointment. And typically the CEO of the Friends of the Fair, John Alkire,
Yeah.
is the one who will give the tours. And he's the one who put the whole place together. So it's
he's-
very, very special to hear him tell the stories of each piece and each exhibit, because he was really hands-on with everything in there.
And I think he's truly just in love with it. I think he loves that history and that legacy. Probably drives you guys absolutely insane sometimes, because when John is out to get something, it's going to happen. And he'll find the people, the plan, and the money to make it happen.
And that really is where his passion is. I
Yeah.
mean, this was the perfect transition for him to just jump over to Friends of the Fair and continue with his passion and growing that museum. And we have new exhibits in it this year. The Italians have brought in an amazing, beautiful Italian heritage piece exhibit that's got touch screens and painting of like the Sistine Chapel on the roof. I mean, it's incredible. So I really encourage people to come out and see that.
And that's why I was telling people too, it's not your traditional museum. When I first saw the first building that you did, I was pretty amazed. And then when I saw the one next to the Paul Theater, on the top floor where you have the Fresno County Courthouse, the courtroom itself is upstairs, and you walk into the courtroom, and the docents that are there at the museum were always very just engaged, and some of them were there at that time when these were being used. And I remember a lady explaining to me, and I know she couldn't have been around at that time, but the water fountain was a picture of the water fountain outside the courthouse, and had little metal cups. I thought, well, what are the cups for? And she goes, that's what water fountains were for. You came up and you took a drink. You won't see that in COVID these days. That's not going to happen for sure. But yeah, years ago, that's the way it was done. So it was kind of great to hear that history and have my grandson with me at the time, and he was, wow.
And we get that a lot from all the people that come through the museum. They'll look at an exhibit and they'll have their own stories related to what they're seeing that they're sharing with the various generations that are around them. So it's really a special place. It's a real gem in our city, in our county, and in our valley. There's really nothing else like it.
Before we went to break, we were talking about sourdough. And we're talking about one of the buildings, used to be the gym building, the gyms and minerals, and explain to everybody what that building is again, and then we'll dispel a little bit of myths. And we still don't know for sure, but we're going to have to look it up. But in that building, it's about local.
It's all about living local and buying local and supporting local vendors. So that's what will be in there. And it's a great opportunity for our local vendors to sign up and be able to bring their product to the fair to be seen by hundreds of thousands of people and purchased and not actually have to be there. So we're kind of taking it on consignment, and they'll be able to come in and replenish their supplies, and we'll sell it for them, which is fantastic because a lot of those people have real jobs. This is kind of their side hustle kind of thing. And it's working out really well. So we're so excited. The gal who has taken ownership of the building and will be running it for us has decorated it like a store. So when you walk into it, there's no pipe and drape like in our other shopping buildings. It's set up like a store, like you're walking into a little boutique.
A little country store.
Exactly.
With the local. And so we were talking about sourdough, and I mentioned the yeast inside of sourdough to create other rolls of sourdough is this by the chef or the person that's created it. I always told it was a Joe, but maybe it was the person who's created it. She called it a Joe, but it's the mother. It's the mother and the yeast, and I never knew that there was a lot of work into creating an incredible loaf of sourdough. And you'll find out about those items when you come to the Live Local market or the building.
Exactly. So we've got people who are going to be doing some demonstrations, and one of them will be doing a sourdough starter demonstration, teaching people how to start their own sourdough.
And you can make your own sourdough. Right here, Business Leaders, you learn something every week, Tuesday mornings, 11 o'clock. There's more to come. Big Fresno Fair this week with Stacy. Don't go away. Go to businessleaders.tv for more information.
This is Business Leaders with Lance Cardoza.
Welcome back to Business Leaders here on KMPH Fox 26. If you would like to be a guest and you're a business entrepreneur or a small business here in the Fresno County, Madera, anywhere where you see KMPH Fox 26 here with Business Leaders, go to businessleaders.tv and scroll to the bottom of the website and make sure you enter your information and join our VIP club and find out who the next business leader is every Tuesday morning here at 11 a.m. in the studios at KMPH Fox 26. I'm sitting here with Stacy from the Big Fresno Fair. Stacy, you've been in the business of the fair business for almost 3 decades now. And how long with the Big Fresno Fair?
This is my 20th fair with the Big Fresno Fair. And
Big anniversary.
That's right. And I was with the Tulare County Fair for 8 years. Wow. So yes.
And at that time, it was John Alcar was down there too?
Yes, he hired me.
He hired you.
He hired me in Tulare, right? I was still in college when he hired me. Wow. Yes. 3.5-hour interview. He hired me on the spot. So
I will tell you this too, and John I think takes a little pride in it. He got my start as well. A lot of people go, what? And I was a photographer at the King's Fair, running around photographing 4-H and FFA kids, and I'd run down to the 1-hour photo lab and come back and sell them pictures to the parents. They're winning heifer or steer. And I'd run down and do that. And he came up to me, and here comes this guy. And he didn't wear a cowboy hat then. It was the ball cap. Yeah, ball cap. He couldn't afford a cowboy hat yet. Because his first year at the it was the King's Fair. And he walks up and goes, "Hey, kid." And I'm like, oh, no, this is the guy with the golf cart. And this is one of those old 3-wheeled golf carts, you know, just had the handle in the middle. It was a totally dangerous golf cart. And he goes, you got film in your camera? And I said, well, depends who's interested. And he said, really? And he chatted with me for a minute, and he says, you ever heard of monster trucks? Never heard of it. It was a new thing, monster trucks. And he gave me a $20 bill. I'll never forget it. And he said, go out there, give me some photographs of monster trucks. I nearly got killed that night.
But you made $20.
I made $20. Had some amazing portraits and everything. And John gave me a chance, years to come, things over and over. I own Lucha Extreme, as you know. And
yes.
we performed the final day of the fair for many years and done business with John. And always stayed in touch with John because John saw things in people and he pushed you to your limits. And as you know, he's done that with you too. And now
look at all this great talent he found and fostered.
Yeah, exactly.
We're amazing.
Yeah. And you survived as many business people in the toughest industry out there. I mean, I felt bad for the fair last year that you made through it, you got through it, you still created an experience for many, many people. And now we're going to bring it back. It's coming back alive, and it's your anniversary, 20 years in the business.
Yes.
And you're coming out strong.
We're working on it, yes.
Working on it.
It has not been an easy year at all.
Yeah.
There's been supply issues. We've had vendors sign up for booths and then cancel because they can't get their product.
Yeah.
People are not well, or they're scared to come out and work in the buildings. And
yeah.
So it's been a real challenge, but our team is amazing, and they've never stopped fighting. We've got our eye on the prize, and that's bringing this event back to Fresno County and to all the people that love it so much.
Yep.
And that's what we're going to do.
Big entertainment.
Yes.
Big Fresno Fair always has really big entertainment, a lot of fun. What do we have this year in store at the Paul Paul Theater?
Well, as always, we have a little something for everyone. So we kick off the fair with Anthrax.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Anthrax. And that's not, Anthrax is a band, just
yes,
so you know.
It is a band.
Yeah, yes.
We've got Smokey Robinson, we've got Chris Tomlin, Midland, Nelly with Blanco Brown. We've got a couple collaboration evenings. So we've got metal featuring Chris Perez and the Cumbia Kings all together in one show. And then we're also doing a ladies' night out with Belle Biv DeVoe and John B. and Maya. So yeah, we really do try to have something for everyone. Ramon Ayala will be there on the first Sunday night.
Oh, great.
Yes.
Good stuff.
Yes.
So people that are listening to the show now, business leaders are saying, what day are those shows? And they can find out that information at your website.
FresnoFair.com. Everything you want to know about the fair.
Right there. You get your tickets and get everything to this great entertainment at the Paul Paul Theater.
Exactly.
And that's a ticketed event at the Paul Paul Theater.
Yes.
But there's a lot of entertainment at the fair. Entertainment galore just with your ticket and your admission to the fair.
Absolutely. We have 5 stages with free entertainment all day long, every day of the fair. So there's lots of things to do for free at the fair.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And there's a lot of promotions that you guys have put on throughout the years, and ways that you can obtain tickets or be able to get discounted tickets. And all that
Yes.
information also can be found at the website below, correct?
Yes, absolutely. Everything you want to know is right there. But one of the big ones, because it is such a huge need always, but this year especially, our partnership with the Central California Blood Center. So if you go anytime from now until the 16th of October, you will get a buy one, get one free voucher to get into the fair.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you just any donation site.
Any
with Central
donation
Valley-
site, yep, even the mobile ones will have them. And we really encourage people to go out and give blood, give platelets. There is a huge need for platelets right now.
platelets. And
As well as blood.
They can find out information when they see places where they can donate blood by going
Yes.
to Central Valley Blood Center.
Yes,
to find out
exactly.
details.
Or come to our website, fresnofair.com. It's there as well.
Perfect, and all the
Yes.
information's there.
Yep.
I wish you all the best in having a great big Fresno fair. Very exciting. 20 years in the business, and I'm sure you got many years to go in working in this industry. What is the one big thing you leave everybody with about the big Fresno fair?
We're back. We're bigger than ever.
Yeah.
And there's going to be lots of changes, but still lots of great things to come out and enjoy. Spend time with your family and enjoy the tradition of the fair.
That's all the time we have. Well said. Business leaders, next week, Tuesday morning. Don't miss it.